is breaking news.
It is 9 o'clock, a shocking morning for Portland Trail Blazers fans as head coach Chauncey Billups is arrested as part of a major investigation into illegal gambling. Federal investigators say Billups participated in illegal rigged poker games that were connected to organized crime families. Fox's Joe Vithayathil is following this. He's here in studio now. And Joe, these allegations are jaw-dropping.
Just unbelievable, Kim. Yeah, so Chauncey Billups, one of 34 people arrested in 9 states this morning as part of a years-long-led investigation by the Department of Justice and the FBI. So there's 2 parts of this investigation. One involves Miami Heat player Terry Rozier allegedly colluding with bettors so they could win. Chauncey Billups is not a part of that part of it, but this other part includes these rigged poker games. That's where Billups comes in. According to the U.S. Attorney for Eastern New York, Billups was paid to participate in these underground poker games, essentially to entice players who might want to play poker alongside an NBA Hall of Fame player. Then they say those games were rigged. They would use high-tech equipment that was used to cheat and steal millions of dollars from gamblers. Some of that equipment included rigged card shuffling machines, hidden cameras, even special tables that could read what cards a player had when they placed them face down. They say that information was then relayed to an inside player at the table so they knew what cards people had and they could win and again take millions of dollars. And investigators say the conspirators would then launder their winnings through shell companies and crypto. So Chauncey Billups faces 2 federal charges, one for wire fraud and one for money laundering, each carrying a max sentence of 20 years in prison. And the allegation is these games go back to 2019. Of course, he joined the team in 2021. We're joined right now by longtime sports columnist here in Portland and radio host John Canzano, who's covered the Blazers for more than 20 years now. John, Blazers fans, you know, we've been through this so-called jail Blazers area, the recent drama involving the sale of the franchise, but I can't remember a story quite like this. Your immediate reaction when you heard the news?
Well, the fan base was excited, and I think you were doing the morning report this morning, talking about how excited and, energized the team looked last night. You've got Tom Dundon, the owner-to-be, who's in the house sitting on the baseline. You've got, young players, and it's a brand new season. And then, bam, this hits like a bag of bricks. And for Blazer fans, it's Groundhog Day. It's every time you get excited about your team, suddenly the rug gets pulled out from under you. I think, the NBA's got some serious issues here, as you mentioned, the second piece of this investigation involving the potential that games were fixed or that there were some improprieties on the sports gaming part. Chauncey Billups so far doesn't appear as though he's going to be indicted on that kind of stuff. But for him to be used as a lure to bring fish into this poker game, these illegal games that were rigged, this is bad for the Blazers. I'm waiting for them to make a statement. I think they should make a statement. And I don't think we're going to see Chauncey Billups coach another game in Portland.
I'm wondering if you've heard, whether on the record or off, from any of your contacts through the years with the franchise, whether, past or present with the Blazers. Have you heard from anybody with a connection to the organization?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. My phone's been blowing up this morning. And, from about 6 o'clock this morning on, it's been with shock and disappointment. And certainly, Billups was viewed. He was a Neil Olshey hire. Neil Olshey, the former GM, he's gone. He's been pushed out of the organization. You've got new ownership coming in. I don't think anybody expected Chauncey Billups to be the longtime coach in Portland. And so I think this offers the organization a chance immediately to distance itself from Chauncey Billups. You don't want to be part of this investigation if you're the Blazers. You don't want this cloud hanging over the sale of the team. I think the organization was getting ready to move on, but really right now it is about, the NBA having a larger problem. Clearly the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI, they waited. They were asked about the timing of the arrest this morning. They waited until the NBA season started. They're getting a lot of exposure and a big splash for this arrest and this investigation. I don't like the ties to organized crime. I don't like that the games were rigged. I don't like that a coach who's making millions of dollars is involved in a poker game. He didn't need to be paid to be in this. It just doesn't make any sense. And, I'm disappointed and frustrated for Blazer fans as well.
Yeah, and I want to point out that the U.S. attorney in this case says that the NBA did cooperate with this investigation. But, obviously something like this affects not just the Blazers, but basketball fans, nationwide, worldwide, really, because this is a worldwide sport. What do you think the fallout will be as it relates to not just the Blazers, but the NBA in general?
Well, I think, we've seen this more and more, Joe, that we've got these leagues, colleges, schools, the NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, they're all in partnership with these legal wagering entities. And that has been rife with complications. We've seen players who have been banned for life and suspended, and the NBA was already investigating one of the players that's involved in this current case. And so the Department of Justice, the FBI, they are saying that, look, these entities are victims as well. I have a hard time buying all of that. I think you're going to see a lot of sunshine and a lot of scrutiny. You're going to see a lot of grandstanding by lawmakers who are going to say, hey, we need to get these entities out of sports. But clearly, this is, the New York City Police Commissioner talked about the organized crime element. They were going after the crime families in New York. Chauncey Billups walks into the room and ends up in a poker game. He shouldn't have been there. I'm disappointed in him for that. But I think you're going to see a lot of sunshine on sports wagering, legal or otherwise, and a lot of questions being asked of the NBA, of course.
Well, John Canzano, I want to thank you for joining us this morning, sharing your insight on really a shocking morning for Blazer fans here in Portland. And, of course, Kim, we're not sure yet when Chauncey Billups might make his first appearance in court, but we're going to keep you, updated throughout the morning and throughout the day here on Fox 12 Oregon. Back to you.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Joe, and thanks to